Lights out in France. A good start initially off the line there from Raul Fernandez. Not so much from Joe Roberts. Coming up the inside is Bo Bensnyder. Bezzecchi, though it is, that will lead up the top of the hill. Canet also got a good start. He's up to third.
Bezzecchi was brilliant off the line, superb launch. There was almost contact between him and the poleman Fernandez as they clicked through the gears to that fast first
contact
corner. Yeah, it's all getting a little bit messy and scrappy mid-pack, and that's broken up the field. The top six have already got quite a big gap.
I think that was Remy Gardner in contact with someone mid-pack as they drop down the hill into turn 6. A great start then from number 72. There is number... big outside for Canet.
Wow.
And turn 9, he's gone down, he's up on his feet, which is good to see.
That's a monster crash for Canet going down into Shimano-Berv. He hobbles away. Le Mans has been horrible recently for Canet, of course. In the warm-up here last year, a huge crash at La Chapelle. Lost the tip of one of his fingers on his left hand, so the Le Mans pain and misery, well, it extends for the Spanish rider, out on lap 1.
What happened to Sam Lowes? He was in 5th a moment ago, and then he's dropped back all the way to 10th. Well, sorry, that's Fernandez, isn't it? Augusto Fernandez now, then he's moved up into 3rd place. On board now with Sam.
Good to see Hector Gartho fighting back inside the top 6 again. He was in 5th at the end of the first lap. He's had his woes so far in 2021 after an outstanding finish.
Augusto Fernandez has gone down. Well, he was up inside the top 3.
He had a crash this morning in the rain at the final corner, Steve, and that's a second successive spill then for Augusto Fernandez. He crashed out of the top 3 last time out, didn't he, in Jerez very early on as well, so poor run continues for the 23-year-old.
His teammate Sam Lowes has just put in the fastest lap of the race and gone past Remy Gardner. This new Triumph era of Moto2 has provided some excellent racing of late. We've seen some classics. Portugal was an outstanding battle. We saw similar events in Qatar as well. Sam Lowes has gone down and he's taken Vieille. Now, there must have been contact. He was trying to get through on him.
Baldassari's involved as well.
There's 3 riders that are all involved in this.
That's down the hill, that tricky off-camber braking zone from 4th to 2nd gear. Really hard to make it stop. Into garage there, turn number 8. Sam Lowes, that's a disaster for him. He was second in the championship. Joe Roberts, that's lovely up the inside of Raul Fernandez. Beautiful move into the Blur S's.
Sam Lowes, how crucial and costly could this be for the World Championship? Let's see if we can get a replay of that. He crashed out of Portugal, of course. A bit further back then, Lowes is up the inside there. Baldassari made his own error. Sam Lowes going up the inside of Xavi Vieille. It looks like he's just squeezing the brakes on, trailing the brakes in, and unfortunately he goes down, and then he takes Xavi with him.
Afraid to say, the guilty party pretty obvious on that one. That was Sam Lowes' crash, no doubt about it.
Oh dear, who was that?
The innocent victim.
That was Hector Gartho, I think, just taking a wide line through turn 3. It's getting spicy at the front of this race. These 3 now. Joe Roberts sniffs a victory, the man in 2nd, as he closes in on Marco Bezzecchi out front. Here are your leading trio. 72 is Bezzecchi, 16 Roberts, and then number 25 Raul Fernandez! Contact, front wheel on rear. Roberts goes down into turn 9. His chances of victory are gone.
It looked like he got it all out of shape on the brakes going into Shimano-Berv. Joe Roberts, you've got to be so accurate there. It's one of the few points, the approach that you're in 6th gear around this Le Mans circuit, then you're knocking it back 4 gears for the slow entry into Shimano-Berv. And Joe Roberts, it never looked like that front was settled. He almost clattered into the back of Bezzecchi, who's lost the race lead as well. Fernandez has got through. High drama here already in Le Mans.
At the moment, he's set to take the championship lead into Mugello. He's a rookie, ladies and gentlemen. He's on pole for his first time in the wet on a Moto2 bike yesterday. He is quite the superstar in the making.
Incredible. It was arm pump, physical problems with his right arm, the nature of Jerez, constantly opening and closing the throttle, hard braking. It really did punish that right arm, of course. Moving up from Moto3, these Triumph 765cc bikes, they're heavier, they're more powerful, it's much more physical, the tyres are bigger, so much for your body to contend with. He'll still be adjusting his physical training to get used to these Moto2 bikes. So perhaps inevitably at some stage he was going to encounter an arm pump issue. It was just unfortunate when he was looking really strong for a podium fight in his home Grand Prix. Again, he reels off yet another fastest lap, with the three men behind him. They immediately better it. The top four men, Fernandez, Bezzecchi, Ben Schneider and Gardner, they all swap fastest laps of the Grand Prix, nothing between them. Fernandez and Bezzecchi 37.3s, Ben Schneider and Gardner 37.2s.
Remy Gardner right on call, as Simon Crowbar mentions that. Gardner has poached third. He moves up into third place then. Tony Arbolino now fancies a move on the Dutch rider as well. Through turn 8 we go. There is your race leader, number 25, Raul Fernandez. That was a little bit deep initially into turn 8, but he's managed to make that back up again.
Thought he was heading off the circuit there at one point. May have well have thought it himself, dropping down the hill into turn number 8.
He has been brilliant. From the back end of last year in Moto3, where he started making headlines, to the start of this year, he was moved up into Moto2. He said yesterday in the post-qualifying press conference, he surprised himself with the speed that he has got. Aki Aiho really is able to unveil some superstars, and Remy Gardner then is through. Now Bezzecchi must have made a mistake. He must have made a mistake somewhere. There is the number 72 into turn 8. He went too wide. We were watching Fernandez at that point, and there we see he's handed second place over to the Australian.
Yeah, how costly could that be for Bezzecchi? Because he was just starting to reel back in Fernandez. Yeah, very costly. Lost a second with that mistake in the break centre turn number 8. All the hard work to be done again for the Rossi protege.
There's Adrian Fernandez, who's just been out in Moto3, younger brother of Raul, who you're looking at here. The young man from Madrid just continues to impress, and Aki Aiho's men are putting pressure on the big heads in KTM in terms of a MotoGP next year deal. The checkered flag is out here. It's been fantastic, flawless Fernandez here in France. A brilliant performance from both of Aki Aiho's riders. They win. Fernandez takes glory. Gardner takes second. Bezzecchi back on the podium in third.
Sébastien Poirier, the French Federation president, hands over the race-winning prize to Raul Fernandez, his second win in 3, 1 point behind his championship rival Remy Gardner. Fernandez, fantastic in France.